Hello again. So you are now on this slide in your virtual meet and greet. Again, this red up here is a link to the presentation that I'm about to show you so that you can interact with it more after you watch this video. So here we are on the presentation about other important Manning information. So one of the things I wanted to make sure to share with both families and students is that our conduct code at Manning are based on these 5 principles or tenets. So we expect our students to show honesty, effort, achievement, respect, and teamwork. So we hope that all of our Mustangs have heart. As long as students are aligning their behavior to these 5 values, they will be doing great at Manning. I wanted to talk briefly about Outdoor Lab this year. Our coordinators for Outdoor Lab are Miss Berg, who's the coordinator for the Windy Peak site, and Mrs. Putnam, who is the coordinator for the Mount Evans site. A couple of important dates to put in front of you. On Monday, September 28th, 2020, in the Manning Auditorium, there's a parent meeting. So make sure to save that date. And then there's also an Outdoor Lab. So Outdoor Lab itself, where when the students actually go, is the very last week of school, which is kind of a cool time to go. So from Monday, May 17th through Friday, May 21st, all of our 6th graders will be on site at Windy Peak and Mount Evans. So students are split between Windy Peak and Mount Evans based on their heart or access teacher. So Windy Peak access teachers are Miss Agard, Mrs. Berg, Mr. Johnson, and Mrs. McLeod. Mount Evans access teachers are Mrs. Garcia Lee, Mrs. Hughes, Mr. Molinari, and Mrs. Putnam. So if you look at your students' schedule and see who they have for access, if they have one of these teachers, they're going to Windy Peak. If they have one of these teachers, they're going to Mount Evans. So that assignment is firm. We don't make assignment or site changes based on requests from students or families. We think it's really important that students have an opportunity to get to build relationships with their access class at school so that they're best set up for the success in learning out there in Outdoor Lab. So their location is set. And again, that last week of school, they will have a wonderful time at one of these 2 locations. Information about payment options and fundraising can be found on our website. At the school website, Family Resources Fundraisers, and this is a link to that location. And then here's some other helpful links. Here's the Outdoor Lab website. This includes kind of planning and packing lists and site information, etc. And then here's the Outdoor Lab Foundation website, and they do a really great job of helping families raise money for the Outdoor Lab tuition. All right, wanted to talk briefly about pickup and drop off. Our parking lot is, those Manning families that are watching that are current Manning families can tell you that our parking lot is just a joy and a gem. Pickup and drop off can be fairly stressful. So a couple of tips that I have for you. First of all, drop off actually tends to be pretty great and pretty mellow. And the reason for that is because we drop off in kind of a stagger. So we have students that arrive at 7:50 and then we stagger all the way to 8:15. Picking up at the end of the day is less staggered, so it's a little bit more congested in all 4 of the loops that are drawn here. My suggestion to you at pickup at the end of the day is to stagger just like drop-off is. So there will be an adult outside supervising kids on site until 3:40. So 15 minutes after that final bell rings, students are welcome to stay on campus so that you can stagger your pickup time. A lot of our families have students who walk off-site, so Maple Grove Park is just a couple blocks this way. There are a couple of other places that students can safely walk to, and you can meet them there. The other thing that I would really recommend is that you utilize our Manning carpool so that we can limit the number of vehicles that are in our parking lot at any given time. You can find more information about that at this link on our website. A couple of rules about the 4 different loops that you can use to pick up and drop off. If you are approaching Manning eastbound on 32nd Avenue, so if you're coming this way on 32nd Avenue, we ask that you use either loop 1, which is through this old bus loop right here, or Loop 2, which is the one that goes straight in front of the school. In my experience, Loop 2 is the least utilized loop, both at pickup and drop off. So I would encourage you to check Loop 2 out. It's rocking. If you are arriving at Manning from westbound, so if you're coming from this direction, we ask that you use either Loop 3, which enters right here into this parking lot that goes kind of, here's the auditorium. So, enters in through this parking lot and goes around that way, or this long loop over here, this green one, Loop 4, which is just past the main parking lot and over by the auditorium that way. So if you're approaching Manning from this direction, we ask that you use Loop 3 or 4. In my experience, the most congested loops are 1 and 3, for whatever that's worth to you. All right, so a quick tour of our building virtually, which is very strange. The thing I wanted to make sure that I impressed upon students that are coming to Manning for the first time is that truly it's just a big square or rectangle. I know that it feels really big and overwhelming when you first set foot in it because it just feels bigger and different from your elementary school, but truly you will get the hang of it. It's really hard to get lost there because it's just this big box. So if you just keep walking in the same direction, eventually you'll get to the classroom that you're supposed to get to. This is our library back here, and these 5 cottages are out here. So this is 6th grade language arts, 7th grade language arts, and then our Spanish teacher is out here as well. So again, just wanted to reiterate, just a square, hard to get lost. You're going to do great. No reason to be nervous. Please make sure to bring your Chromebook every day. So students were issued, if they're in Jefferson County, a Chromebook in their 5th grade class. Please make sure to bring that Chromebook with you to Manning the very first day of school. The Chromebook should be taken home every night. They should be brought to school every day fully charged, and they're used in almost every classroom for learning almost every day. Students certainly don't spend the entire class period on their Chromebook, but our teachers utilize the Chromebooks quite a lot. So please make sure that they're at school and charged and ready to go. All right, so quickly, I wanted to note that this school supply list that's on this slide is not fully finalized yet. We'll send you an email and post on our website as soon as they're ready with the finalized list. But I did want to talk about how our school supply list is kind of laid out. So this gray here is general 6th grade supplies. They are supplies that all 6th graders need to purchase and bring to school no matter what. They should be labeled with their first and last name, and they might need to be refilled. So, pencils and 3-ring binder, paper, that kind of thing, Chromebook sleeve. These things should be delivered to the main office. Your last name A through L, a hand sanitizer, last name M through Z, disinfecting wipes. And then these next columns, or these next, I guess these would be rows, wouldn't they? So these next rows are only for the classes that your students have on their schedule. So these are additional materials. So these gray can be stored in their locker. You can bring them to registration and put them all in the locker. These items should be taken to their classroom on the first days of school. So the English, math, social studies, science, and electives should all be taken to their classroom on the first day of school. So the second page of the school supply list is all of the electives that we offer to 6th graders at Manning. Your student is not going to need to buy all of these different supplies. They only need to bring supplies for the electives they actually have on their schedule. So a lot of our families will look at this list and then they'll write down in this box right here the supplies that they actually need to purchase. All of the elective supplies should go to the class with them on the first day of school for registration so that their teacher can talk to them about how to organize those supplies and how they'll be used for class. If you have any questions about school supplies, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. We know that it seems like an overwhelming list. All right, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our website and take you there. So the Manning School website is truly a wealth of resources, and most of what's most pertinent to you will be under this Family Resources tab. So this is where you'll find information about after school and enrichment activities, especially on Wednesdays. So that's where you'll find information about clubs and organizations and things like that. So all the different clubs and enrichment activities that are available on Wednesday afternoons, you'll find on that link in the website. You'll also see information about carpool, so how to sign up for carpool, and how to get in touch with other people who are interested in carpooling from your same neighborhood. We also have, this is where I clicked on that family portal in the last video to link to Infinite Campus. This is information about extracurriculars. So truly all of the most important information for families is under this Family Resources tab. It might be one that you might want to bookmark somewhere on your computer so that you can easily find it again. And this is where, when our school supply list is finalized, we'll make sure to link it here on this school supply list tab. Alrighty, so that's our Manning website. It's a wealth of information. I encourage you to get familiar with it. It's really nicely laid out, and our front office staff does an incredible job of making sure that it's up to date. All right, I want to also encourage you to get involved in one of our 2 parent organizations. We have our PTA that does an incredible job raising money for us and creating opportunities for our families to connect to one another. Our Parent Partnership Committee is our school accountability committee, and they truly give the principal guidance about major school decisions. They are a wonderful guiding and informative group of people that help us make the best decisions possible to ensure that our school is the best that it can be for our students and our families. So PTA meets the 3rd Tuesday of every month at 8:30 a.m. and Parent Partnership meets the first Tuesday of every month at 5 p.m. In the library. So we would love for you to join us at one of those 2 times and get involved as much as you can. You can find some more information about our PTA and how you can join the Manning PTA at this website, and I would encourage you to do that. All right, so some beginning of school important dates for y'all to put on your calendar. Math Jumpstart is kind of a math boot camp to help our Manning students get used to Saxon math and the way that we do math learning and math homework at Manning. That's from August 5th through the 7th from 9 to 11 a.m. Registration information for Math Jumpstart will be coming soon. Our registration open house is on August 12th or August 13th. I'm so sorry about that. Either August 12th or August 13th. You don't need to attend both of those sessions. There's just 2 opportunities for you to come to the school, open your student's locker, get things organized from your supplies, get a tour and walk the building and get a sense of, how to get from one class to another, meet some of the front office staff, etc. So that registration open house is a wonderful opportunity for you to interact with the school, especially since this meet and greet is this strange virtual way of doing things. August 18th is 6th grade orientation. So this is that first day of school. 6th graders should expect to be at school from 8:25 to 3:25 as typical. On August 20th, we're going to have a math curriculum night. So our math teachers are going to give you some additional information about how best to support your students in Manning at Math. And we'll also have a really wonderful welcome back barbecue for all of our families that same evening. So please make sure to attend that and get connected with the larger Manning community. August 25th is our first PTA meeting, and then back to school nights are August 26th or August 27th, depending on your last name. At the very bottom of this slide is a link to a live Google Doc that is, the most important major events dates for Manning. What I want you to notice is that it's a live document. It's updated regularly. It might be one that you bookmark on your computer, but it's not one that I would print because it will change some over the course of the year as we have to make some adjustments. But those August dates are more or less solid. If one of them changes, we'll certainly let you know. I appreciate you taking the time to look at some of our Manning nuts and bolts in order to get you set up to be successful at school. Please, before I sign off, I'm going to beg you to follow Manning on social media so that you can interact with some of our students and wonderful programs and get connected with students and staff. And it's also a place that we send out information as well. So you can join us both on Facebook and on Instagram. Thank you for joining us for our virtual meet and greet. Again, I will be on Zoom tomorrow at 4:30. If you have additional questions, I'm looking forward to seeing you virtually. Thank you so much.